up, Taiwan? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joyce Tseng with the latest news. Officials and foreign dignitaries are meeting in Taipei for the annual Yushan Forum. It's designed to build economic security in the Indo-Pacific. And as Rick Lowett reports, it's an opportunity for Taiwan to strengthen relationships in the region.
This is the 7th annual Yushan Forum here in Taipei, a Taiwan-led regional dialogue aimed at tackling economic security in the Indo-Pacific. Taiwan has gathered people and officials from India, Japan, the Philippines, Thailand, and the opening remarks were delivered by former Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He touted Taiwan's role it can play in this region.
Taiwan's future is uniquely central to global peace and security, and we all understand that that future is under constant threat.
This forum is a core part of Taiwan's new southbound policy, a plan by the Thai administration to foster ties in the Asia-Pacific and reduce economic reliance on China. Under pressure from China, Taiwan is denied access to many international organizations. That means events like these are crucial for Taiwan to foster ties in the region and to have its voice and its vision heard on the world stage. John Su and Rick Lowett in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Attending the Yushan Forum is an Indian lawmaker who wants to see closer relations between Taiwan and India. Sujit Kumar is a member of the upper house of India's parliament, and he'll be meeting with President Tsai Ing-wen later this week. Louise Watt sat down with Kumar, the only Indian lawmaker to visit Taiwan in the past 7 years.
What are you hoping to talk about with President Tsai and other Taiwanese officials?
I'm a big votary of greater relationship between India and Taiwan. Two very proud and vibrant democracies. Unfortunately, the two countries should have been very close partners, but we don't see them actively collaborating, actively partnering on many issues. So my focus would be to ensure that the two political entities, Taiwan and India, come closer, and not only politically but also economically, culturally. There is no direct connectivity, flight connectivity between India and Taiwan. Hardly a couple of hundred Indian tourists will come to Taiwan every year, and vice versa. So the scope of the two countries coming closer is humongous. So my visit will hopefully help this to fructify.
Taiwanese officials will no doubt welcome that, but how much support is there in India for closer relations with Taipei?
So I must be honest here. I think India has been rather diffident when it comes to having closer ties with Taiwan, largely because of the China factor. And, the relationship has never been great, but after May 2020, when Chinese troops intruded into the Indian territory, the relationship has gone really downwards. And India has been very cautious in dealing with Taiwan because of the border negotiations and other issues. My view has always been that we are being unnecessarily overcautious, and Indian-Taiwan relationship should be seen independent, should stand on its own legs, right, and should be seen independent of China. Unfortunately, not many Indian lawmakers know much about Taiwan. So this is why I think there is a need for more interparliamentary delegations from India to Taiwan and then from Taiwan to India. So one of the other objective of my visit is to help set up an Indian and Taiwan Parliamentary Friendship Association.
How close would you like to see Taipei and Delhi get?
Extremely close. I think India and Taiwan partnership should be one of the most defining partnerships of the 21st century. Why not? Buddhism is the common link between the two countries. Taiwan is very, very advanced in STEM, science, technology, engineering and maths. India is trying to build up its semiconductor industry. Many Indian students go to Australia, Canada, US, UK for studying engineering and maths. Why not Taiwan? Politically, yes, I don't think India is at a stage where it can politically recognize Taiwan as an independent nation at this point, but that does not mean that we cannot work together in having a free trade agreement. I think India should support Taiwan's entry into the World Health Assembly. in other international multilateral bodies. Economically, I think the opportunity is the biggest. India is Taiwan's 17th largest trading partner. I would love to see it in the top 5.
The number of presidential hopefuls running in January's elections could soon shrink from 4 to 3. That's as the Kuomintang and Taiwan People's Party have hinted at joining forces. TPP candidate Ko Wen-je says he wants 3 debates with KMT contender Ho Yo-ii, followed by a poll to see who voters think did best. Ko says the winner should run for president with the loser serving as their running mate. But with fewer than 100 days until the election, the 2 candidates haven't decided how these talks would even begin.
我们也提出了3个层面、6个方向，所有的议题都是开放的。
那见面就先讨论，再来办3场政策辩论嘛，再来就比民调，这样就好了。我猜他一定7拖8拖的。
In international news, Israeli forces continue their air assault on the Gaza Strip as the conflict between Israel and Hamas enters its 5th day. Over 2,000 Israelis and Palestinians have been killed since Hamas gunmen crossed into Israel on Saturday, killing and kidnapping civilians. Israel has since responded with force against Hamas, the governing body of the Gaza Strip, and is now preparing a ground offensive. The United Nations says nearly 200,000 Palestinians in Gaza have been displaced. As countries around the world respond to the crisis, U.S. President Joe Biden described the attack on Israel as, quote, an act of sheer evil.
We stand with Israel. We stand with Israel. And we will make sure Israel has what it needs to take care of its citizens, defend itself, and respond to this attack. There's no justification for terrorism. There's no excuse.
Another earthquake has struck the same region of Afghanistan that was devastated by tremors on Saturday. The magnitude 6.3 earthquake struck early on Wednesday morning in the western province of Herat. Previous quakes of the same magnitude and powerful aftershocks killed over 2,500 people over the weekend. That number is expected to rise. Many people have been left without shelter, and hundreds are still missing. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing. At least 29 people, including women and children, have been killed in an artillery strike on a refugee camp in northeastern Myanmar. At least 59 people are also believed to be injured. The camp is located near the border with China and is controlled by the Kachin Independence Army, which has been fighting for self-governance for decades. The strike is one of the deadliest attacks on civilians in Myanmar since the military took power in a violent coup in 2021. The exiled National Unity Government blamed the attack on the junta, which has used airstrikes against opposition-held areas in the past. The junta has denied they were behind the strike. Back in Taiwan, National Day is a big affair, and it always closes in fitting fashion with a nighttime fireworks show. This year's event was held in the central city of Taichung, but as reporter Jeremy Olivier found out, poor organizing meant the festivities weren't what many were expecting.
Ending the day with a bang, Taiwan's National Day fireworks celebration is meant to be the big blowout to cap off a long holiday weekend. The show is held in a different city every year, and this was the first time Taichung hosted it in close to a decade. And things didn't quite go as planned. The fireworks were set off earlier than scheduled, leaving many missing the show. People then took to social media with a longer list of complaints, everything from missing the fireworks to a drone performance being cancelled and badly designed staging. Beyond that, this year's celebration was also colored by politics. With Taiwan's presidential election just months away, some politicians have seized the opportunity to raise sensitive issues, like Taiwan's national identity. Opposition figures have criticized the use of Taiwan National Day in English-language materials, rather than Taiwan's official name, the Republic of China. Some chose to boycott the day's activities entirely, accusing the government of trying to promote independence before people go to the polls in January. But all this didn't seem to affect the general mood in Taichung. thousands of people are out here to celebrate their country and its achievements. It's a stunning show of support for Taiwan's democracy and its autonomy. Now, not everyone may agree on the national name that best represents them, but what's clear from the numbers and the enthusiasm is that events like this one have a way of bringing people together, no matter their personal politics. For many Taichung residents, coming out to the event was also about showing pride in their city, Taiwan's second biggest, and a growing hub of the country's high-tech and wind power industries.
台中是个好地方啊。
我们台中刚好是在台湾的中间，其实各地来都很方便。
And ultimately, that's what this event was all about. Despite the issues, people were still able to come together and mark an important national holiday, allowing Taiwanese to celebrate their country and revel through the odds and a sense of community. Chris Ma, Patrick Chen, and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan is shooting for the stars when it comes to space travel, and one of their ideas, recyclable rockets. Reese Ayers has more.
Cries of joy and relief at the Advanced Rocket Research Center as Taiwan's domestically made space rocket sails 3,000 meters into the sky. These are scenes from a launch in July 2022, with the successful test of the country's newest autonomous rocket.
I believe that this rocket is the first rocket in Taiwan which has its own thrust vector control and its own throttle control, which enables it to control its altitude and its flight path to achieve our mission goal.
Over a year on, researchers are ready for the next phase of their project, which will combine two sections of the hybrid rocket. The next launch, planned for later this year, hopes to make significant gains on the previous test.
目标就是在今年呢，我们可以实际去发射这支双节的探空火箭，来尝试去飞到100公里以上的高空。
The team are testing sounding rockets, designed to carry instruments and satellites into Earth's orbit. It's all part of Taiwan's efforts to become a contender in the international space race. While the country may already be a world leader in a number of technologies, such as the production of semiconductors, it's yet to make a big impact in the field of space research. But rocket scientists here have much more in the pipeline. The smaller HTTP-4, currently in development, is designed for reuse and could be among the world's first fully recyclable rockets.
垂直起飞后，飞了水平100公尺跟高度100公尺之后，在异地去做降落，那我们就是用这个雏形来验证这样子的导引导控的技术。
There are plans to launch 6 low-orbit satellites by 2028, but the scheme is currently behind schedule. Earlier this year, the National Science and Technology Council proposed a 3-year extension to allow the domestic space industry more development time. Taiwan has a long way to go if it's to compete with other countries in space, but these scientists are doing their part to get Taiwanese hopes off the ground and its satellites into the skies. Andy Xue and Reese Ayers for TaiwanPlus.
Experts in Taiwan are warning people not to interact with one of the country's endemic species, the Taiwan Sero. That's after the hooved goat-like animal has been spotted more often. The herbivore usually lives in higher mountainous areas, but hikers are reporting more frequent sightings at lower altitudes. Authorities are warning people not to feed or disturb them.
可能会就是有因为喂食，他们可能看到人也会变得不怕人这样子出来，所以我们是希望说游客就不要喂食野生动物，这样子会改变他们的行为。
Thanks for watching What's Up Taiwan. Check out more of our stories on TaiwanPlus.com and our social media. Before we go, take a look at this art installation by Ghanaian artist El Anatwi at London's Tate Modern. I'm Joyce. Take care and have a good one.